I have gotten very involved in the national reparations movement. I will say right away for people who are part of that movement or interested that my brand of that policy is federal in scope. I believe a debt is owed to the descendants of enslaved black American citizens. So I'm talking about a specific lineal group, a lineage. And then I believe that that's because it is a debt, a payment, which means cash that must be paid to those folks. That is not local policy. In fact, you cannot, in my view, make any local policy reparations in good faith. You're just using kind of the branding of something that is a federal program in nature. So I believe in local reparative justice. I believe in local economic justice. But I'm talking about reparations because I think that you take that understanding that we have a group of people, and this is a huge part of our ward. 58% of the Fifth Ward is black, and overwhelmingly, those are this particular group of people who I'll refer to as freedmen. And I'm making a distinction between that group and folks who have immigrated since emancipation and come to this country, who are also treated, there's discrimination across the board. Lots and lots of groups have a right to redress. They have been mistreated, and they should, they should have the right to sort of petition for some sort of a recompense for that. I'm talking about a specific group, which, in my view, and a lot of scholarship and a lot of other advocates back me up, have been not only disproportionately impacted, but not compensated, not given redress. And in every moment in American history, when we have been at an intersection where we had to serve the American people with some kind of a policy that provided resources in a unique way, we have found a way to push out freedmen. We have found a way to disproportionately provide resources to white Americans. Other folks got less. Freedmen got nothing. And that happened over and over and over again, whether you're talking about Social Security or giving out land or the GI Bill. There are lots of examples. Even unions, which were meant to organize all labor, left out black folks over and over again. So the cumulative effect of this is that in communities like ours, we have to recognize that, and we have to see that as part of a pattern. And when we're trying to make policy, use that as a guide. And I think the place where you really see this in Chicago is in housing. And we're going to talk about that more in a minute. But I do want to say, when we're talking about economic justice, a really good example of how you take that reparations frame and bring it locally is that there's a pattern of discrimination, housing discrimination against freedmen, specifically in this city, and that's something that has to be addressed. Another place where you see that is employment, and this is a huge challenge in terms of the economics of our ward. The numbers vary, but citywide, there's like maybe a 6.5% unemployment rate, and locally, it's at least 15%. We have a very high unemployment rate, and a lot of that, again, we can see if you look historically, includes prejudicial practices against black folks. So this is, economic justice should be a foundation. So you don't just say the economy isn't doing what we think it should. Let's figure out a way to, raise all boats, lift all boats through economic policy. But you recognize that some of the problem that you have, why is our city at a, much lower unemployment rate than the south and west sides? Well, you start to look at demographics and you recognize that there are patterns there.